the Central League here in the Big East as their homestanding Blue Jays play host to the Villanova Wildcats, the #3 team in the country. Game 2 of our doubleheader in the Big East. You look at the standings updated with the victories of Seton Hall, DePaul, and Providence earlier today. It's the Wildcats with a chance to win and be #1 in the Big East yet again. Hi again, everyone. Tim Brando alongside Jim Jackson. And Jim, there's no question now with Phil Booth back, Villanova's weaponry is intact.
It is. It gives you leadership, the ability to defend and knock down shots, and more importantly, experience. So this Villanova team on the quest for another outright Big East Conference title, and for Creighton, a big win, a big opportunity to get a big win at home, but also position themselves not only for the Big East tournament, but more importantly, NCAA tournament.
Well, they lost Martine Crumpel earlier in the year, and they're also without a big piece today. Lisa Byington has that story.
Yeah, Tim, a very late scratch for Creighton. They will be without forward Ronnie Harrell Jr., who woke up this morning with a swollen foot. I can tell you, he went through practice fine yesterday and woke up with that unexpected problem with his foot, so he's been scratched. Within his absence, they lose depth, rebounding, and quickness, and it'll be Mitch Ballack who will get his first career start, Tim.
Youngster from Kansas who joins this Jeep Grand Cherokee starting lineup. It's going to have to be the game of the year for Kyrie Thomas with him out. DiVincenzo is in that backcourt with the ultimate leader, Jalen Brunson, possible player of the year candidate. As you look at our officials for this afternoon's game, James Breeding, Roger Ayers, and Lamar Simpson. Packed to capacity yet again here at CenturyLink. Toss in the tap, control to Villanova.
And one thing you lose with Ronnie Harrell Jr. also is 2 inches height, the ability for him to affect shots in the paint.
Pascal on the wing, count it.
You know, one thing about this Villanova team, I was talking to Kevin Willard before they played, is that with Spellman and Eric Pascal, the 2 things you worry about is their ability to stretch the defense and shoot beyond the 3. And that's a unique situation for college basketball team to have 2 basically centers, forwards that can step out and really knock it down.
Let's take a look at our Geico players to watch today.
Well, Jalen Brunson, I think, has thrust himself in the #1 position as far as player of the year because he's been so consistent. And Kyrie Thomas, I mean, one of the most versatile defenders, players in the country that no one talks about.
Creighton will have to be very efficient today, and Foster had better make that kind of shot throughout the course of the day. That one in and out.
Yeah. Marcus Foster been struggling the last 3 games, only 12 points a game, shoot 35%. So you'd love to see that first one go in, especially at home.
Ballack also an outstanding shooter, a tough cover as a lefty in the backcourt. That one does fall for Kyrie Thomas.
I just love his game. He plays so much under control. He takes the shots that are given to him. He's an excellent defender. More importantly, Tim, he's a high IQ player. So you know what you're going to get. He's going to make smart decisions when he's on the basketball court.
Now the challenge for him is to concentrate both offensively and defensively as you see the big fella step out, the 6'10" redshirt freshman Omari Spellman.
It releases so much pressure when you're forwards and bigs and knock down shots. It just opens it up for the guards in the front with the backcourt player.
Foster stays with it. He's got such a quick first step. Jay Wright told me today, prior to the game, no player his team has to defend is any quicker than 94 feet.
Well, he's quick, but he's also strong. He's heady. He understands how to score. And I love the fact that time he missed the first jump shot, but he put it on the deck and he attacked the rim. Then off that second bounce, he was able to get his own offensive rebound and score.
DiVincenzo. Not a player on the floor that cannot knock down shots.
But the patience, I think, for Villanova is what separates them from a lot of teams, in particular late in the shot clock. They're still able to get a high-quality shot.
Mintz with a ball fake and a blow-by. And a whistle underneath. There will be a foul. Jay Wright, 56 years of age. You'd still think he was Roley's assistant. That's his mindset. Went on to Hofstra for a short time. Now in his 17th season and one of the classic good guys in college basketball.
And he doesn't get credit enough for how he develops his players. a lot like you see with Coach McDermott here. You get a product as a freshman, and you watch how they grow and mature into outstanding young men, but basketball players by the time they're senior year. And that goes, you give credit to himself, also to the coaching staff for developing young men into outstanding basketball players.
Booth is coming to the game now. Pascal sits down. Vince gets one of the two. Spellman retrieves it. 8-6 Villanova. 2.5 gone by. That one off the heel and an opportunity to run here for Creighton. More of that from Thomas means we may have a good one even without Ronnie Harrell. Count it, and a foul. Foster got him.
Watch the setup on the turn, curl, inside, and that time Foster was in good position, but the lean in at the end, Tim, is what caused the foul. He's right here, arm straight up, then he leans right there, okay, and that caused the foul. And how about the concentration that time by Bridges to finish the play?
His ceiling is only beginning to be hit. What an all-around talent he is. Redshirt junior, Malvern, Pennsylvania, Great Valley High School.
And how about the last 2 games, 52 points, shoot 19 for 27 and 8 for 14 from behind the arc. So talking about a guy that's been on fire after a little slump.
Halleck on the wing. He's got a great stroke. No one ever called a right-hander crafty. This kid's crafty.
Well, he's crafty, but he's confident. You can see it from the beginning of the game. Now is his chance to step up and do something for his team he's probably been waiting on. And no bigger stage than playing against one of the top teams in the country.
Each team 3 for 4 from downtown. Brunson. It's almost as if the rim knows who's shooting.
Well, the challenge is going to be with Creighton. What do you take away from Villanova? I mean, seriously, because you got so many guys on the floor that can beat you. You're going to have to limit something. And you have to figure it out. Is you're going to force Villanova to shoot another jump shot by Kyrie.
Well, in talking with Greg McDermott yesterday, he said you got to score first and foremost. Yep. You can't beat this team 65-64.
Well, scoring also allows you to set your defense, okay? So take smart shots. Don't allow this Villanova team to get out in transition.
And then over the back on Spellman. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive, your first-round pick for car insurance. We're tied at 15, both teams lighting it up early, and it's time now for the Jackson Report.
All right, Tim, it's been a tough week in college basketball, but a week that I think is needed because changes need to be made. Quite honestly, you see AAU one-and-done shoe companies and agents, and I'm going to pair the 3 AAU shoe companies and agents together because the environment that which college basketball is in right now is just it's a downward spiral, and it started a long time ago. So the NCAA has to do a better job in regards of understanding, 1, how to clean up the mess, 2, impose penalties for agents and NBA for fostering this kind of behavior. And you know, with the one and done, keep in mind the one and done is an NBA rule. That has to be something between the Players Association and also the NBA to monetize and fix that. I think that is an issue right there. But the whole corruption part of it has been going on for a long time now. And the underbelly of what the NCAA is antiquated. The system is antiquated, and we all agree that it has to be changed. And players deserve better, coaches deserve better, but universities and the fans deserve a lot better as well.
Well, quotes that suggest, and some have, from the NCAA that this is startling and shocking that intercollegiate athletics as we know it won't be the same if it persists are a joke. That gets nothing accomplished.
Well, let me tell you something. Change is needed, and time changes everything. The system was great in the 50s, 60s, and 70s before big money came involved. But once that became prominent, you have to make adjustments from there for these student athletes. And again, I know it's a challenge with Title IX. You see a great pass right there. a non-revenue sport, and how do you pay them? But there's a lot of smart people out there that can make this system work.
Well stated. Alec for three. Haskell brings down the rebound for Villanova. Villanova's so balanced. 6 field goals by 6 different players.
That ball movement. I mean,
shot clock at 10. Haskell pumps. And it's pulled down by Davion Mintz.
Yeah, wonderful defensive possession that time by Creighton. Take advantage.
There's the blow-by. There's the quickness. He's got jets. No one's faster than Marcus Foster with the rock.
And I love this lineup here. Defense, you stop, you get the rebound. Now you attack this Villanova defense when they're in retreat mode. That's when you can get some easy baskets, or you can get some trailer three-point shots in transition.
Booth, a leaner. Off the heel, Ballack retrieves it. Right back to Ballack. Haskell with a rebound. Gillespie in the game, sends the ball to DiVincenzo. Booth, rejected by Mintz. Kyrie. Well, he has been spot on here early. Four for 4 from downtown for Thomas. DiVincenzo, the answer.
Both teams sparring back and forth.
Two really outstanding offenses, so well coached. Hegner missed the alley-oop. Toby Hegner just could not catch up to that one.
Well, how about the block by Davion Mintz right here? Just able to keep it in play, and then the quick decision, the spot-up trailing, three-point shot by Kyrie Thompson. And again, your defense is going to have to anchor you, because at some point, you're going to have to take away those easy twos.
The freshman Jacob Epperson from Melbourne, Australia, by way of Lallemure High in Indiana, has checked into the game. They tore the red shirt off him about 3 weeks ago after Martine Crumple's injury. Foster checked out for a brief blow before the under-12 timeout. Spellman. Epperson tips it right into the hands of Joseph. Caleb Joseph with early PT. Nothing doing for Tyshawn Alexander with his first pump. Brunson's so good at posting up other guards, uses that strength.
Yeah, but Kyrie Thomas is a little different player, but guess what? Great deep, better on that one. How about the spin to the baseline behind the backboard, able to still get it up?
Ballack can't get it to go. Spellman with the rebound. And he's bumped. Jalen Brunson had to make his father, Rick, pretty happy when he sees this. That's toughness. That's all the training. That's why you lift all of those weights. Big East College basketball is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Our score, 22-20 Villanova. It's a Big East Wednesday night jam doubleheader on FS1. It all starts at 6:30 Eastern as Providence battles number 4 Xavier. Then number 3 Villanova takes on Seton Hall. Catch it all on FS1, or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Now let's go inside the huddle, sponsored by the LG V30.
All of a sudden, we're getting stretched out to the three-point line. We need back cut, fill out of that corner. All right? Then you got it. Listen, out of timeouts, they get a little aggressive and try to get up and pressure. Be solid with your screens and your passes and catches right here, okay?
Again, getting stretched out. He wants to constrict the offense a little bit more, not operate so far outside the three-point line now that you're taking multiple dribbles to get back in play, but also, too, protect the basketball. You know this Villanova team is a very good defensive team. You don't want to give them any opportunities.
Our Lisa Byington has more for us. Lisa.
Yeah, I was listening to Jay Wright's huddle, and the Creighton small lineup presenting some challenges. First, defensively, he looked at Eric Paschal, and he said it's fine that you're staying in the lane, but at some point you're going to have to try to defend the three. On this possession, guys, let's look to see if they try some post-up opportunities. They feel like they do have a little bit of height and an advantage here, Tim.
One of the problems, Lisa, that Creighton has had recently is defense, particularly covering the three-point line. And with this smaller team, they've been a little bit more active. Spellman underneath after the offensive rebound goes up and over Epperson to get the deuce.
Yeah, that time Spellman able to wedge his way inside off of a tough shot by Jalen Brunson. But when you have a small lineup, you're going to give up something. And a lot of times it comes in the form of offensive rebounds.
Epperson made a good cut. Everything but the finish there off the dish from Foster.
And this is where Villanova, you score, you miss an opportunity, they come back and make you pay for it.
There's that classic post-up again by Brunson. Epperson hauls down the rebound as it goes crying off the front rim. Look at that stop and go. Look at that stop and go. He's got a different gear, Marcus Foster, and you better stay with him.
Well, with Marcus Foster, quite honestly, you got to try to pick him up early. Because if you allow him to get ahead of steam going downhill, when he sees a gap, the strength in his body, the ability to create and get in between the gaps is going to be tough for anybody to stop him.
DiVincenzo can't get it to go. That ended, by the way, that bucket, a 7-0 run. Thomas. Hello. How do you do? Timeout, Villanova.
Marcus Foster getting it done on the offensive end. There's a reason why he's the leading scorer in the Big East. All right, welcome back. And Creighton Blue Jays right now out in transition has been the best part of their offense. And Marcus Foster head up, but keep your eye. Look, every head is turned and just focused on the ball with really no communication. And I love the fact here, a dribble handoff, Kyrie Thomas, bang, from the top of the key. This is how you attack this Villanova team. You get a stop, you get out in transition, and now you have to force them to have to guard you with this smaller lineup. If you trade, excellent job that time in transition.
Jay has great respect for Greg McDermott and what his team can do offensively. He also said when you play the Blue Jays, sometimes they're so quick, they're so fast that it takes you a while to settle yourself down defensively. And eliminating those big runs can be problematic. Creighton winning the battle of fast break points by a big bundle.
Double dribble. Yep. Well, Kyrie Thomas, an unsung hero, so to speak, in the minds of a lot of people in the country, but not here in Creighton Nation. He just can beat you in so many different ways, and he never seems to be in a rush offensively, but he knows exactly where to be on the court in order to get the high efficient shots that's needed.
With Harrell out of the lineup, he's hit his 5th tray in a game. That's a career high. We've still got 9 and change left in the first half.
Well, he reminds me a lot of a guy that I played with, had an excellent NBA career, which is, his name is Mckie.
Oh, big time, yeah.
I mean, just does everything. I think he's more athletic than Aaron was, but the same kind of makeup can beat you in so many different ways.
Bridges. Talk about the total package. That kid's got it.
You talking about total package? That's a 6 3-pointer right now for Villanova. First game, Villanova's 19 for 39 from behind the three-point line. So kind of trending towards that once again.
When you can spot 6 guys out there that are 40% or better from beyond the arc, you're going to flourish offensively. What a nice dish. An extra pass to Heckner. He likes that spot on the floor. Ballard tries to keep it alive. Paschal pulls it down for Villanova. Each team with 6 3-pointers. 5 of the 6 for Creighton belong to Kyrie Thomas. Ballot gets into the passing lane and a foul, the end result. The freshman getting his first start out of the state of Kansas.
Yeah, that was a tough entry past the angle in which Phil Booth wanted to get it inside to Big Pascal. That time you take one more dribble towards the baseline and drop it on his left hand on the baseline side. Now he has the ability to go one-on-one.
Yet again, you notice McDermott gets Thomas out of the game seconds before the under 8. His team is really lacking depth because of the loss of Harrell. He's doing everything that he can to manage minutes to make sure these guys are fresh at the stretch.
Well, you get him under the 8 timeout, so he has rest plus the timeout. Now you can get him back in and he's fresh again. So excellent usage of the timeout and also TV timeout.
Minutes off the bounce. Pascal bothered him there. Good defense.
Yeah, that time, you know, Creighton got to move the ball. One-on-one is not going to get it against this Villanova defense.
Brunson with the ball fake on the freshman from Eudora, Kansas. Tried to school him, but Pascal got the offensive rebound out to Bridges. Pulled down by Foster. Off the heel. Good time to take the 3, just a little too strong.
Well, he knew Eric Pascal was going to give him space because he didn't want to get beat off the dribble. So as soon as he saw Pascal kind of back up a little bit, he lined up the 3 ball, just not able to knock it in.
After no turns in 10 minutes, Villanova's turned it over twice in the last 3 sequences. Pascal goes reversal and uses the glass.
And the timing on that, he allowed Brunson to kind of go through a little bit, and then he, with the inside pivot, exploded right to the basket.
Oh, the lefty! Finger roll off the glass and one.
Watch the beautiful angle, quick move, right hand off the glass. How about Ballard making his presence felt? 5 early points, but opportunity to get and one. Number 3 team in the country getting tested by Creighton.
Jim Jackson's favorite. 33-31. Creighton with the lead, and here's Lisa Byington.
You know, Tim, you mentioned it has been an emotional month for Creighton's Toby Hegner, who found out just weeks ago that his mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. So Creighton's Greg McDermott let Hegner go home this week for a few days to be with his mom during surgery. Happy to report her surgery went well. When this picture was taken in the January 27th Pinkout game, that's when Toby's mother, Tracy, leaning on his left shoulder, told him about her diagnosis. Hegner's brothers are here today, and happy to report, though, again, that mom and dad are doing well, and they're watching from home today, Tim.
Thank you, Lisa. Greg McDermott really did counsel him closely and for a great period of time, having gone through that with his wife as well. Gave him the time to get away during practice sessions this week.
And it's always tough, too, as a young man, trying to figure out who you are, growing, dealing with the aspects of college. Then you're also dealing with injuries and some setbacks yourself, and how do I perform? All these things are going on in your mind, and then you have something like this happen. That's when the brotherhood, the coaching staff, the support system behind you helps kind of guide you through some of these tough times. You never know what somebody's dealing with. You never know. That's why you need that support team.
Life lessons learned, particularly at this age and through the team concept.
Yep. That's why team sports are at its best, man. I mean, I love it.
Tyshawn Alexander can't get that one to go. 5 different Wildcats with 5+ points, 5 of them each with a tray. Gillespie now in the game operating, which allows Brunson to play off the ball. Marcus Foster checking him.
And what a great matchup, too, especially when you try to post him up. Brunson on Marcus Foster gives him a little bit more of a defensive advantage there.
He just went out of bounds there. And a foul. A bailout, really. that personal against Tyshawn Alexander. I mean, the boundary was the defender's friend, and he really didn't need to bump him there.
Well, Alexander, that time he just stood up at the last minute when Gillespie wanted to go to the baseline. That allowed him to get up underneath him and create the contact, which ultimately caused the foul.
Booth checks back in. You know, it's amazing. With all this scoring we've had, Jim, no team has led by more than 4 points. Brunson. Oh, that is vintage. Vintage Jalen Brunson.
Well, the play itself, out of bounds, able to catch, curl, but then Kyrie jumped to his right side to take the dribble away, but smartly, Brunson able to not only spin, but navigate through a tight little window to get inside right here. Everson committed, but he really didn't commit, which allowed Brunson to have a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play.
First foul on Epperson.
And can I say, the most consistent player in the country, without a doubt. And that's why right now, if you look at who's leading in regards to player of the year, Jalen Brunson's name is right there at the top of the list.
Foster tried to get that one high off the boards, and it looks like Spillman took one in the eye or in the chops. Alley-oop time for Pascal, but it's too strong.
And that's the timing aspect right there by Phil Booth by not playing.
Poor pass by Ballack. Epperson was not in position for that alley-oop.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good decision. That is. That's a good decision.
That's a quality decision. And a timeout taken by Creighton. Largest lead of the day, a 9-0 Villanova run.
Now,
the Brunson era with Jalen as its point, 92-12 overall. 2 regular season Big East titles. 1 Big East tournament title. And yes, as a freshman, 2016 national champion. As you look at the other player of the year candidates, I've noticed that some of our colleagues who had anointed Trae Young have backed up just a bit. And of course, Bagley injured. Your thoughts?
Well, I was one of them because he was playing such phenomenal basketball. He was no doubt head and shoulders above everybody else, but defensives kind of, you know, figuring him out a little bit. The other name you don't see in there, and this is going to be a tough one, is DeAndre Ayton.
Yep. That
really catapulted himself. But again, you go back to the consistency. He didn't see the fluctuations.
Yep.
And think about this. Jalen Brunson shoots 54%. He's looking at front court players that shoot that. You know what I mean? That's amazing. And to be that consistent for that long just speaks volumes for the type of player that he is.
Jays have hit a bit of an offensive funk. Scoreless in their last 3.5 minutes. And the shot clock winding down on Hegner. Out to Thomas. He hit his first 4 3-pointers.
And how about the contest that time? Phil Booth came from the middle of the lane. After Gillespie fell on Hegner, had to contest that shot, kind of threw the rhythm off of Kyrie Thomas.
After that 8-0 Creighton run, Nova answered with a 9-love run of their own with 9 ticks remaining in the opening half. This is a critical sequence for Creighton. They need to maintain contact at intermission. Pascal had that one knocked away. And a turnover, the end result.
Well, let's take a look here because not a lot of space to operate in. Eric Pascal here gets past him a little bit, but how about the help by Foster? Had to slow him down, and Ballack able to knock it down off his left thigh. You talked about a critical possession and critical point. Craig, you played so well. You want to carry some momentum.
Absolutely.
Going into halftime, and the really great teams like Villanova understand that closing out the last 2 minutes is paramount in having momentum when you come out in the second half.
Nice pass! A Sunday best dish into Foster, who electrically attacked the 10. He's got 11. Pascal. Move over. It's hammer time.
Wow. 2 outstanding plays, one off a backdoor cut, and then Pascal that time able to go off the bounce and show his explosiveness.
Creighton will get the ball back. You see the differential between the game and shot clock. swing sequence at the end of the first half right here. Brunson off the heel. Alec with the rebound. Plenty of time for Creighton here. Clear out for Foster. Here we go. Step back three. Yes, at the buzzer.
Tim, you talking about closing out of the half. Get it to your main man, Marcus Foster. I may not be able to beat you off the dribble. A little step back, three-point shot. No problem. I got this. Creighton closing the gap on the number 3 team in the country. And again, it's great defense, but better home, my friend.
Is that a clear out or is that a clear out?
Oh, it's a clear out all the way.
Oh, boy. 40-38. Let's go to Lisa Byington.
You were shaking your head after that last Creighton three. What has upset you the most about your three-point defense here you've seen in the first half?
Well, we're just getting outplayed. You got to give Creighton credit. You know, they really came to play and great atmosphere, and they're just defending better than us. They're sharing the ball better than us. They're just doing everything better than us right now. We just happen to hit a couple shots.
I was going to say, but you yet have the lead after all of that. What has pleased you maybe on the offensive end that you've seen?
We're making some shots, you know, which on the road, that's not going to get you, especially against Creighton. They execute really well. They're going to score in here. We got to find a way to get some stops.
Thank you. Tim?
All right, Lisa. Villanova 40, Creighton 38. We're going to send you to Rob Stone in Los Angeles right after this. It's the Big East. It's big game Saturday. Welcome back to Big East College Basketball, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Here in Omaha, our score 40-38. Villanova by 2. A big 3 to close out the half, and we've got a nice one underway, Jim Jackson. Your thoughts on the big 2 for this Creighton team? Foster and Kyrie Thomas leading the way.
Well, you figured Marcus Foster would step up big time, knocking down shots, but then Kyrie Thomas, I mean, 5 3-pointers, 5 of the 8 to Creighton in the first half. And he's done it in multiple ways, off the screens, in transition, great defense. And Marcus Foster, being Marcus Foster, backdoor cuts. He puts so much pressure on the defense after guard, even one-on-one. When you're in his face, he's still able to knock down tough shots.
A quick look at our first half stats, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Those fast break points, a real catalyst in those guys hitting some of those step-in threes.
That one there, baby.
Let's go over to Lisa Byington.
Well, can you ride Foster and Thomas in the second half to get a win is the question I posed to Greg McDermott, and he said we're going to have to. The biggest question for him, the biggest challenge for him in the second half is balancing their minutes. Look for him to take out those 2 guys maybe a few minutes before timeouts and media timeouts to give him a little bit of a rest, and he was happy with Mitch Ballack in his first career start.
He should be, and he was already conscious of those seconds that he could buy before the under-12 and the under-8 timeout. Right away, Thomas off the entry, gets it to go with the left hand. We are tied at 40.
And I like the play call out of the half. You get a chance to misdirect the Villanova defense, and you create a one-on-one post-up opportunity for Kyrie Thomas on DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo almost double dribbled there. Tough take for DiVincenzo when he's being shadowed by Kyrie Thomas.
That's for anybody. Yeah, shadowed by Thomas.
Pascal with the dump down to Spellman. Nicely done on the baseline over Hegner.
Well, that's a value of reversing the basketball. That time, you're able to dive Amari Spellman while the ball's being reversed, and he's able to basically pin Hegner inside deep post position to be able to get inside and get it.
Beautiful overplay by Bridges. Comes away with a pilfer. Brunson. Alec knocked it away. Could not come away with the steal, and there's a reach-in foul against Mintz.
Well, coaches always say reverse the ball. Get it to one side over here, get it back. And now the defense is looking. The defense is looking. Now you're able to get Amari Spellman right here in the post. And how about the post pass by Pascal on the left-hand side? Now he's able to catch on the baseline and turn before the defense can recover.
Thomas checking Brunson. He got away from him. Rejected by Hegner. That was all leather. Out of bounds off of Brunson, and Villanova turns it over.
Brunson able to kind of sneak by Kyrie Thomas, but Hegner not giving up on the play. It's a little contact, but that's okay because Brunson may have initiated a little bit more of that.
31 of the 40 points scored by Thomas or Foster.
Well, the two main guys are going to score. A red turnover right here by Creighton.
Spellman lost it. On the deck, Ballot comes out of there with it. They've got numbers. 4 on 3. Thomas launches. Hegner, a nice tap out, but Mintz could not get to it. And it belongs to the Wildcats.
Well, in transition right there, in game 1, Villanova, even though Creighton only had 8 turnovers, Villanova had 19 points off those 8 turnovers, okay? So the ability, even with a low number, to turn those into points is one of the reasons why they were able to have such a large margin of victory, because those are those other plays outside of the offense that they were able to capitalize on. But on that transition, not able to score.
DiVincenzo with a ball fake. Booth needed that pass a little sooner. DiVincenzo gets it back, puts it through.
And see, just that little bobble, whether it's a double dribble or not, Phil Booth able to get by his man, cause the defender to help enough to get DiVincenzo that jump shot.
Foster working on Pascal. Lead is back up to 5. Largest lead for either team has been 5 points. Mintz for 3. Davion, sophomore from Charlotte's North Mecklenburg High.
Yeah, what we've seen, Tim, you talked about the biggest lead is both teams able to respond. You know, instead of it being a 10-2 run, 12-2, they minimize that and be able to get right back into the game.
Booth, not this time. Well, it doesn't hurt to have guys that can hit 3 balls. Creighton's had 9 trays today. Here's another for Ballot. Not there. DiVincenzo the rebound. Thomas all over a potential backdoor cut from Brunson. Balin's got it, though. He walked that time. That's just defensive pressure. Creighton with really good defensive Brunson in that sequence.
Excellent footwork here by Kyrie Thomas, cutting off the drive, and then rarely do we see Brunson off balance. That time he was off balance and able to cause that turnover.
Only Providence in their upset win able to contain and control Brunson. Great crossover! And on the hammer time slam, Pascal erases it but picks up the foul. What a crossover there by Davion Mintz.
When you jump, I'm going to take it to the basket and try to get a hammer throwdown. Pascal said, no, not here. The foul still was called.
From executive producers Dwayne Wade and Chance the Rapper comes the critically acclaimed film that the New York Times calls deeply felt street poetry. Catch the premiere of Shot in the Dark today at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on Fox. And I know that's near and dear to your heart.
It is. I was honored to lead a discussion, the panel here, these young men. Coach Lou Adams, this film, this documentary moved me spiritually, emotionally. What he's doing with those young men is incredible.
52-50 our score. The Blue Jays lead inside the huddle with Jay Wright.
You gotta have the guts to say how we're gonna do this defensively. How we're gonna do this defense. Not how am I gonna do it for us individually on offense. Right? They're flying at you. All right? You understand? You gotta want to do it at the other end, man. You gotta want to do it. Right? Don't look for rest when you're on the weak side. When you're on the weak side, we gotta make some plays.
I mean, how calm is Jay in that particular situation?
Says it all, really.
Says it all. But he's preparing his team also for something bigger. The moment is now, but we lock in. It prepares us when we're in this situation coming up. We know how to dig deeper, become a better defensive team. To see if it works.
Yeah, he knows his guys know their collective roles, but it's about the team concept with Villanova. Ballack end-to-end to Epperson again. This kid is coming out of his shell right before your very eyes on Big Game Saturday on Fox.
I told you, he's probably been waiting for the moment to be able to show his total skill set, to be able to get quality minutes within the game. And he's showing us a little bit of everything, the shot, the playmaking, the defense.
The ability to run the floor. He's got their last 6 points. Number 41 in white. Brunson trying to navigate. Great pass. Oh, what a pass. Bridges simply couldn't get the handle. Otherwise, that would have been a bucket. But great recognition defensively by Creighton.
Yeah, but poor transition defense once again by Villanova. No one there to stop the ball early. So basically, Mitchell Ballack was inside the lane when he chose to pass the ball when Gillespie came and got him. So that's about the third or fourth time that Villanova has allowed a player from Creighton to really get deep penetration in transition, and ultimately they're paying for it.
And a shot clock violation. Officials over to take a look. Apparently we're going to get word of it from Lamar Simpson.
Okay. Yeah, they're checking to see if the shot clock went off before the foul. I think it is. No.
They are going to say there was a foul. This is, by the way, a 9-1 Jays run. That's critical, though, because that is the third foul on Bridges.
Well, you know, height has his advantages. That time when Mikal Bridges was going back door and the pass was coming to him, out of his right eye, peripheral, you know, he saw Epperson coming down. And that caused the bobble why he wasn't able to catch it cleanly and finish.
Jay doesn't agree with that, obviously. All of these 3 losses that they've incurred have been in the conference, 2 on the road, all within the league. To tell you something about the depth and strength of it in the Big East. Boy, would Dave Gavitt be proud upstairs to know how the reformation of the Big East is gone.
And how about a little change to the defense, a little zone. Great recognition of getting Kyrie Thomas the ball. Extended free throw line. It turned more into a one-on-one opportunity with Spellman.
6-point lead, game's largest. Brunson and DiVincenzo will come in on the next dead ball. Spellman wide open.
Wow. I mean, Colin Gillespie got himself deep inside the lane, but didn't panic.
Foul on the deck prior to the shot.
And watch Gillespie turn the corner. Turns inside, stops, jump stops. He has balance, okay? He has balance. Watch Spellman now relocate right into the passing lane. And Epperson is never able to get out there. And that's the value of being under control as a ball handler. And now you're on balance when you can make that play.
Greg McDermott said this was the best offensive team Villanova's had, including the national championship team. I agree with him. I do. Nice power move by Kyrie Thomas. The only difference with Villanova this year is they lack the rim protector in Ochefu. That's really the only difference. They may be better from an offensive standpoint, minus that factor.
Well, they are. It's a trade-off in that aspect in regards to the defensive end of the court. But they do a collectively good job of getting to the ball. And how about one dribble, Mikal Bridges able just to get to the basket.
Tyshawn Alexander. Epperson tried to tap it out, but did so to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo on the other end, just like that. Just like that, we're tied at 58.
Yeah, the trailer in transition. That time Creighton, so much attention was on the opposite side of the court on the ball. Forgot all about DiVincenzo smoothly trailing the play.
Alley-ooping again for Epperson. Too strong. He tries to save it, but to the wrong guy. It's DiVincenzo on the other end. Booth wide open for the tray. Spellman with the follow, and there's a foul. Epperson's on the deck and down. They don't need to lose another body here at Creighton.
No, they don't. But in transition, Kyrie Thomas, I love when you're able to catch off the curl on the move and use that big body. And this is just a clear out, 2 dribbles. No help on the baseline by Creighton. DiVincenzo in transition. Again, you have to communicate early and point out where your shooters are at. If you don't get it, give up a 3. And Epperson right here may just hit the deck. And like I always said, listen, there's wood on the floor, don't give.
No, it sure doesn't.
You know?
And, you know, he's got to be a little winded. These are the longest minutes for an extended period he's played. He's checking out now. Toby Hegner in for him, and Davion Mitch checks in for Tyshawn Alexander.
And same thing for Ballack, too.
Yeah.
In regards to the extended minutes. But I think both coaches are doing a really good job of navigating through that. Especially you have Jay dealing with how to get Phil Booth and allow him to be effective without being burnt out, but also Coach McDermott with Epperson and also Malik being able to keep them fully gassed up, so to speak, for the substitution.
Hegner, nice little floater from the baseline, off the pass from Ballack.
Yeah, but that time it was quick ball movement, quick decision, and they found a little gap in seam that they can exploit in the zone defense of Villanova.
Ballack, by example, to your point, Jimmy, 29 of the 31 minutes he's played today.
Well, how about him keeping himself in top condition throughout the year, not playing a lot of those minutes like that.
Brunson posted up, drive by it, total package as a guard. Foster's teardrop goes crying off the front rim, and it's out of bounds to Villanova. That was the first field goal this half for him.
But it's all timing. Whenever you need Jalen Brunson to come up with a big play, he steps up big time. He knows his team needs him coming down the stretch.
The Headmen are going toe-to-toe. Number 3 on the ropes in the mighty Big East on Big Game Saturday. The Hoops is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Heineken. Open your world. Our score in Omaha, 62-60 Villanova. And the game reset is sponsored by SoFi, rethinking personal finance. Foul difficulty, one thing to consider, the double bonus in play. You look at Pascal and Bridges. Let's go inside the huddle now with Greg McDermott. His message short and sweet.
We'll be tired tomorrow, not today. All right, we'll be tired tomorrow. We got all kinds of fight left back here.
I love it. Real simple. Hey, listen, man, these are young men. Let it out on the line, but again, he's done an excellent job of manipulating the lineups, but you got to get some rest.
Yes. Let's go to Lisa Byington.
Well, right when that timeout was called, Jay Wright went up to Jalen Brunson and said, "You're our leader. I need you to make the decision, but I need it to be the right one. It's not just because you're All-American and that you have the ball in your hands. It has to be the right decision." So he's really challenging his Player of the Year candidate down the stretch here, Tim.
By the way, Lisa Byington, you can't be tired today, but even though I'm sure you've got a game tomorrow.
That's right. But, hey, listen, he did the same thing with Ryan Archidiakono, okay? Because he puts so much trust in their decision-making abilities. He puts it on those shoulders, especially in late-game situations, to make the right plays.
Now, Arch told us he loved playing in this building. How about that? Brunson right away, as Lisa told us, taking charge.
Well, no panic that time. Maintained his pivot foot. Actually used his right shoulder to clear a little bit of space to get that left-hand shot up and over Thomas.
And we've got a foul.
An ability to get in the lane, to curl, but then to maintain your poise and balance and make a smart. See that? Watch this move right there. That little move created that opportunity to create space to get that shot up. And how about the offhand, left hand to finish?
Pascal's got to leave with the 4 fouls. So the lineup now for Villanova with Bridges back on the floor. Gillespie's out there. Spellman, Brunson, and DiVincenzo. Foster looking to get some space up against the clock.
Tough shot.
Yeah, it was. Ncaa right there with him.
Yeah, only 3 points, 1 for 3 this half, and Marcus Foster not able to get the rhythm going, but his teammates have kept it going, because you know, late stretches of the game, you still want to have the ball in the hands of your best scorer, which is Foster.
Brunson in traffic, needs help. Ncaa lost it, but it's retrieved by Bridges. Spellman loves that spot on the floor. Pulled down by Mintz. We're in the midst of a 14-4 Nova run. Creighton has given them all they can handle, but they need a bucket here. Tough time to go cold.
Yeah.
Creighton.
Just a little short on that one, Timmy, but the ball movement, the execution was there. Malik probably a little bit out of his range. He could have stepped in a little bit more. I think that shot would have knocked it in, but let's see if Creighton to get another stop to keep this lead just to 4 points.
No trays in the last 8 minutes for the Blue Jays. Bridges a blow by. Out on the wing, that shot too strong. Does not go for Colin Gillespie. Blue Jays are much better with step-in threes or with this guy. Not this time.
And the pace of play may be affecting Creighton a little bit right now. The shots are coming up a little bit short, but this is where you use the pump fake. They've been really good at ball movement east to west and then driving. Let's see if they can incorporate that back in their offense and get some much-needed baskets.
They haven't been able to get any fast break points, Jimmy, of late. Spellman, not this time. You know they want to push it real good, and get that good look at a three or a runner. And now they're just falling off for Marcus Foster.
Watch this play.
Brunson.
Told you.
How about that?
I told you.
Fans wanted to carry. It was an awkward dribble, but he recovered beautifully.
Well, he took his hand off the ball.
Yep.
So that allowed him to get it back and actually froze the defender, which allowed him to get a shot up. So I understand the frustration for the crowd, but his hand wasn't on top of the ball.
Jays with just 1 field goal the last 5 minutes. And Jalen on a personal 6-0 run. He just poured that one away from Foster.
But that was a tired turnover.
Yeah.
That was a tired, fatigued turnover that time by Foster. And if you go back in transition, the crowd wants a carry, but watch the top of the ball. He lets it go and gets it back. And actually it's touched by Devion Mintz, so there was no call there. And here was just a fatigue turnover. Marcus Foster really had nowhere to go. It was poor spacing. And down the stretch of the game, when you're tired, that's when you need to pull it back a little bit. I know you want to push, but with this Villanova team, you got to be methodical in your approach, because if you can turn it over, as we've seen, Tim, they'll make you pay.
It's almost as if what was said by McDermott inside the huddle a moment ago was prophetic. He could sense that his guys were fatigued. And it's shown up in the last few moments, both with the shots that were falling, suddenly not, and that rare turnover by Foster where Brunson just really wrestled it away from him.
Yeah, and the difficulty, too, with this Villanova team is that a lot of times you can say, yeah, let's incorporate a zone defense maybe for a couple of possessions. But because they spread you out, Villanova, so well, you're open to three-point shots, but you're also opening yourself to offensive rebounds.
How about the way Jay Wright's comments spoke to Brunson as a leader? He said, it's your turn. You're my leader. You got to make the right decisions. All he's done is outscored the opposition 8-0 himself in the last 3 minutes. Welcome back to Big East College Basketball, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Villanova with their largest lead of the day, 68-60. Here in Omaha, as you look at our game reset, foul difficulty, much more of a factor individually for Villanova. As a team, more so for Creighton, as you see Pascal and Mckie Bridges. Foster also just picked up his third a moment ago. He's now arrested, Foster, only 2 minutes and 17 seconds this entire afternoon.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And this Villanova team is road warriors. They're outscoring their opponents about 16 points a game, and neutral sites are on the road. Other 4 teams that have done that in the past, Tim, have all gone on to the Final Four. So, rare air here.
Epperson again. You got to get him the rock near the rim. Beautiful lob inside. That will get the crowd going. 4 and change remaining.
Too easy that time against the zone defense for Creighton to be able to get dribble penetration to the lob on the backside.
Booth from downtown. Foster the rebound. Eyes up, head up. And in motion, Thomas, who's really been playing. Only 1 minute and 24 seconds for him on the bench today. Finds Foster on the wing. Count it. Here they come. Here they come. Timeout.
Coming out of timeout. Attention to detail. Attacking the zone defense. Find the gap. Throw it up to the 6'11" player. Let him dunk it himself. And then a miscue by Phil Booth trying to go for the steal. And Marcus Foster is like, finally, able to knock it in. Coming out party for another Creighton Blue Jay, Jacob Emerson, the 6'11" Melbourne Australian freshman, showing his wares, just being in the right place, providing opportunity and much-needed score with inside the paint. 8 points this evening, or this afternoon. A lot more work to do. 3 minutes, 41 seconds left to go.
Jim, he's literally in the infancy of his career. His second career game back to play was a 7-point performance on 3 of 5 shooting in the first game with Nova. The last 3 games, 40 minutes played, 33 points on 15 of 17. That's how effective he had been and efficient before today. 8 points all this half. He has rocked this building as they've come from 8 down to trail by 3. Brunson missed the chipping. Epperson clears. Mintz is on the move.
That time I thought Brunson could have used his right hand. He used his left hand, maybe thinking about dunking it. But left it just a little bit short on the rim.
Ballack went to the offhand, got fouled. It's a charge. It's a charge, and what a strong move that was defensively by Pascal, given his foul difficulty. Instead, it's player control, number 3 on Ballack.
Yeah, but Colin Gillespie was able to get his feet set outside the arc and get the charge. But let me go back. Malik had the jump shot, but because he missed a few, he turned down an open look and wanted to get it closer to the basket, but didn't recognize that Gillespie was already in rotation mode in order to take that charge.
Smart move by the freshman, Colin Gillespie.
Doing the little things, man.
Yep, Archbishop Wood High, out of the state of Pennsylvania. Such a gifted Villanova team in so many aspects. Play so well together, always. Spellman in traffic. Not to be, but it's tapped out to Bridges. Didn't get it on the rim, only 4 to shoot. I don't think the freshman knows. Now he does. Off the heel. And over the back to Spellman. That's number 2 on Spellman.
I know Jay Wright is thinking about maybe talking to the official. Did that first shot hit the rim, and it should have been a clock reset. Let's take a look. Amari Spellman's shot went up, and it hit the rim.
It did.
So the clock should have been reset.
Backboard first, then rim.
Hit the rim, yes.
Yep. But you cannot go back and look at that.
You can't go back and look at it.
That's not one that's reviewable.
Yeah,
but he was right, no question about that. But the freshman was unaware that the clock was winding down on him. Brunson finally got his attention, and he launched the shot. That's the 6th team foul on Villanova. Foster.
I told you knew he would be a big factor coming down the stretch of the game. It seemed like those timeouts, he's able to get his wind back. That time, the great elevation on the baseline over a longer Miguel Bridges.
They shoot for the lead right here. Under 2 to play. That's push off on Mintz. Again, the freshman did a great job defensively, Gillespie. He's made 2 great plays defensively.
Well, how about the anticipation to be able to get that right foot outside the shoulder right there? Calls Devion Mintz right there to push off. And that's a good call by the official. Actually, the easy one.
Greg McDermott said you couldn't beat this team 65-64. Well, guess what? We're still in the 60s. Gillespie. Rebound to Mintz. Another opportunity for the lead on this possession. Ballack. And he's fouled. First foul on Brunson. 17 fouls, so it's the bonus the rest of the way for the Blue Jays. And look at Greg McDermott talking up his freshman. He knows he needs him on the defensive end big time.
Oh, big time. And you don't know what you're going to get. When you playing an individual like Epperson, who hasn't played a lot of minutes, you really don't know what you're going to get. So you try to keep him focused, engaged in the game, so that he can kind of give you what you're looking for, especially on the inside. Defensive rebounding, excellent defense. Now he's scoring the basketball as well.
In conference play, those were only the 6th and 7th free throws by Ballack. They were big. Nova 0 for their last 6 in the last 338. Brunson. Great tap out. It was tipped, so no over and back. A recycle for the Wildcats.
Good teams,
under a minute left.
Good teams figure out ways to get extra possessions.
Brunson, count it, and a foul on Epperson. Wow. That's what players of the year do right there.
But also, great teams figure out ways on the road to just get extra possession. The kick out, the tap out by Eric Paschal, out to Jalen Brunson, who just refused at that time to give the ball up and let his team be disappointed. Brunson has Nova's last 10 points, and my goodness, McDermott, there's really not too much you can do about Brunson getting to the basket, finishing with his offhand.
Yeah, you're watching the best player in college basketball right there.
Without a doubt.
I mean, he is. 71-69.
Now, what can you bet bread and butter? Again, moving the basketball, going into a middle pick and roll, or allowing Marcus Foster to curl deep and be able to penetrate the lane. Pick and roll coming here, Tim.
Gotta try to win with your best. Ballack wide open. Hello, how do you do? The Blue Jays are being heard from. Timeout, Villanova.
Well, on that last defensive possession, we talked about Brunson. Poor decision here by going for the steal instead of being solid. Opened it up for Mitchell Ballack to just square his body. The lefty came through big time. Again, the decision to try to go for the steal by Brunson cost Villanova that three-point shot.
Oh, he's loving it. The freshman from Eudora, Kansas, coming through.
No panic right there, Jay Wright. We still have 29 seconds. And Ballack is like, I should have been playing a lot of more minutes earlier.
He grew up just 10 miles from the Kansas campus, but chose the Blue Jays over Kansas, Maryland, Indiana, and Oklahoma. 1.4 seconds now, the differential between the game and the shot clock. Villanova does have one timeout remaining. DiVincenzo triggers it in. No one you'd rather have in this position than this guy right here. Pascal lost it, got it back. What a regather to Bridges. Ball is loose. Blue Jays have it. Kyrie Thomas is fouled. 10.4 remaining. That's 4 on Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, and I think Mikal Bridges panicked a little bit. There was still 16 seconds left on the shot clock when he took that 3. I thought on that possession, they still could have got a better shot.
When Pascal had the ball knocked away, chaos ensued.
Well, yeah, but that shot from the wing right here,
right?
I thought.
Oh, Thomas missed it.
Oh no!
Oh boy! And they're going to get Foster. Sometimes you can try a little too hard. And you talked about fatigue a little earlier. That may have been a tired foul right there by Foster.
Well, it wasn't a smart foul, right? You have no chance of getting the steal here. Just get back and rely on your defense to get one more critical stop. You don't want to give this Villanova team who shoots about 74% from the free throw line, 76%.
DiVincenzo 70. They can still tie it with this one. You think he might ice him here with a timeout?
I would, but how many they have left? They have. He may want to keep it in his back pocket just in case.
Overtime is perhaps in the back of his mind. He's got 2 left. He chooses not to use it.
But he wants his team to push it after this make. He's going right at it.
72 all. This possession is for the win and a clear out. Foster rejected. We are going to overtime.
Wow. Well, you put the ball in your best scorer's hand, Marcus Foster, on the best defender there is. The Big East said, not a bad play by Foster, just a better defensive play by Bridges. And I also think that I think that's DiVincenzo right here. The eyes are down a little bit by Foster, which allows Bridges to catch up and get this shot. You see, if he wasn't there, he's able to get right to the basket.
He knows his best player got the look. He's taking a long look at that shot because Gillespie grazed the front iron. Well, overtime is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Bonus basketball, and it's the second overtime game of the day on Fox. Seton Hall beat St. John's in game 1, and here we are ready to go in extra session in game 2. That has been some enjoyable few hours of Big East basketball here on Fox. As you look at the standings, Villanova wins out. They will win the regular season, be the top seed at the Garden next week, and in 2 weeks, I should say. And obviously, Xavier, a very interested viewing party in the Cincinnati area as well. And a reminder, coming up next, Shot in the Dark, the exclusive premiere, as soon as we have concluded here. Feels like March, doesn't it?
It does. And I got a message right now, Lisa Byington. If you're listening right now, book that Southwest flight, because that 440 flight you want to get on is not going to happen.
That baby is gone. And by the way, everyone at Chateau Brando's been notified. Don't expect Big Daddy B until tomorrow.
Okay. Chateau Brando. Okay. Well, I wasn't going anywhere anyway, so.
Here we go, partner. Boy, Jacob Epperson, you can say this, win or lose, this young man is going to change a few scouting reports going into the postseason.
But isn't that ironic, because you had Martine Crumple, who came in this year and kind of surprised everybody with his development. Justin Patton as a big man surprised. Yeah. And now you see Epperson kind of doing the same thing. That goes back to McDermott and the coaching staff of developing their young post players and watching them probably exceed early expectations.
There's an old saying, no matter what the sport. You cannot hide talent.
No.
And he's got plenty of it. Just needs to grow into his body a bit. And attack control to the Blue Jays.
Now let's keep our eye to the fatigue factor going into overtime, extra minutes with this Creighton team. A lot of times fatigue causes unforced turnovers.
Alec working on Brunson. Thomasson gets the switch to Brunson, takes him downtown. Right down Broadway there, 74-72. This without Ronnie Harrell available today. Pascal knocks down the deuce. We're tied at 74. Alec ooping. There he is.
How about the patience that time of Mitch Ballack allowing Epperson to set the pick. And once he set the pick, now the defender had to help on Ballack turning the corner, and it was an easy lob through it right to the corner of the backboard. Epperson able to catch and finish.
As good as Villanova is, they've got no answer for that play.
Well, it's tough on the pick and roll because Ballack has proven that he can shoot the ball off the dribble.
Pascal using his strength to go right at the chest of the freshman.
Well, that's the second time Pascal's been able to isolate the one-on-one situation with Epperson. First one was a jump shot, that time using his quickness. Pick and roll again.
Mintz, little teardrop. Ooh, DiVincenzo had it, lost it, and Mintz followed up.
And those are the kind of plays right there for Creighton that you need. Missed opportunity for DiVincenzo to get an up defensive rebound. It falls right into the hands of Mintz, and he's able to score.
The lead is 2. 3 to play in the overtime. Pascal again, right back at him. Nothing doing this time. High pick and roll being run. Well defended, but there is a switch. And a timeout taken by McIntyre. He had 2. He decides to use one right here.
Epperson making his presence felt. Just throw it up. Partner, I got your back.
Good day, mate. All right, thank you, Rob. Obviously, that's a major point of news in college basketball today. Former coach of Washington will be taking over for Arizona's Sean Miller. Let's take a look at the foul trouble here the rest of the way. Pascal now and Bridges each with 4. Marcus Foster with 4. Very noteworthy because of the depleted nature of the Creighton team today. Not only without Campbell, lost for a few weeks now, and also Ronnie Harrell unable to go because of a swollen foot. If Villanova wins out and Xavier wins out, it's a split title, but because of the tiebreaker, they have swept the Musketeers this year. They would be the top seed in the upcoming Big East tournament. And by the way, during that timeout, Epperson changed jerseys from 41 to 21. There were some splotches of blood on the back of his jersey, so he's made a jersey change. First overtime game in 3 years for the Blue Jays. And it's a big one. Foster. Rebound to Spellman.
Good defense that time on the pick and roll. Mikael Bridges got brushed slightly, but because of his length attempt, he was still able to challenge the shot on Marcus Foster, who was a little off balance falling back, which caused the shot to come up a little short.
Those perimeter jumpers go off the front rim. That's a certain sign of fatigue, too. Under 10 to shoot for Villanova. DiVincenzo. Rebound to Foster. Look out. He's got a lot of beep in him. Mintz turns down the baseline because Pascal was there.
Yeah, well, good decision. You didn't have it. Try to take advantage of transition, but then you pull it back out and run your offense. Get your pick and roll. That's been successful for you.
I think that's what he had in mind. Roger Ayers spots a foul on a root out that time. It goes against DiVincenzo. He was not going to allow Epperson to get close to the rack that time.
Well, a smart play. That time, he tried to be sneaky here and put his body right into him without really throwing him off. You know, but listen, I mean, that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to make sure that he doesn't get the rebound and put him to the free throw line to make him earn his 2.
Oh, boy. Love Jay's reactions. Not many free throws for this young man. Not a very good free throw shooter.
That didn't look like it.
That was then. This is now. And this kid is having his coming out party.
He stepped right up to the free throw line, took a couple dribbles, and said, I got this.
He was 1 out of 6 coming into that. He's 2 out of 2 now.
But it's amazing how confidence spurs that, because he's been playing so well throughout the course of the game, in particular late in the second half. Now he's beaming with confidence and gets to the free throw line and knocks him in.
You know, you look at his face, it's like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show, but there's like 7 feet under that chin.
With a lot of game.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's Brunson in a post-up. Nice defense by Thomas. Epperson tapped it out, but right to Pascal.
Yeah, no need to panic.
Brunson up below by, lost it on the way up. But it was last touch by Creighton.
Well, again, the defense by Kyrie Thomas, having the height in these situations helps, because you're not going to help in on Brunson when he usually has a mismatch against sometimes a smaller or not strong enough point guard.
Jalen has not scored in the overtime. Kyrie Thomas has been all over him for the most part.
How about the collapsing defense here? Kyrie Thomas, 1 swipe. Here's the second swipe. Uh-oh. That may turn over.
This could be an overturn, absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen Brunson's left hand pushed the ball down.
Remember, in the last 2 minutes, they can do this. That was a rule change that came in 2013 after an NCAA tournament game between Miami and Illinois in the opening round. Only in the last 2 minutes.
And from that,
I think that's indisputable.
Well, yeah, from that replay there, you can see the ball changes direction on the slap down right there. Yeah, the ball's going to change over.
I thought perhaps Foster had gotten it after it got, but no way. That's got to be overturned. Nova led by 8 points with 4:25 to play. Since then, the end of regulation and now into overtime, it's been a 20-8 run for the Blue Jays. This is a very big call, but it's one that looks to be pretty easy to make.
Yep.
It gives Creighton the ball with a 2-possession lead if the overturn does occur, and I see no reason why it wouldn't. They got it. And they took their time. This is a really outstanding crew. James Breeding, Roger Ayers has Final Fours very recently in his resume, and Lamar Simpson.
Well, you know, a lot of people are critical of instant replay, but that's a situation where you want to get the call right. Yeah. Because that can impact how this game ends. If Villanova retains possession, maybe they get a 3-point shot or whatever it is, foul Marcus Foster out because it was an incorrect call. You see what I'm saying? So, great job by the officials.
This is where Villanova usually comes away with a pilfer, a big-time takeaway. Brunson is the on-ball defender. The trigger man is the freshman Ballard.
And a little pressure. This is meant to speed Creighton up a little bit to see if they can force him into a turnover.
And the timeout taken. The heat was on, no doubt about that. How meaningful could today be? This is the NCAA tournament resume for Creighton. Our Howie Schwab has them as a 7th seed right now. See the quad 1 wins. They are significant. There's not necessarily a wow W there, but there doesn't have to be when you played a quality schedule as they have. And the Blue Jays' remaining schedule looks this way with DePaul on Tuesday at Marquette on Fox. Part of a triple hitter we'll have for you the final day of the regular season next week. And the Wildcats of Villanova, who have a chance to be the #1 seed, not only in the NCAAs, but certainly most importantly now the Big East tournament, need to win out. And Seton Hall is in waiting for them. 2 timeouts for Villanova. Creighton with 1. Both teams in the double bonus. And the possession arrow favors Villanova. Triggers it in again. Foster's got it. Pascal commits the quick foul. And that is his fifth.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what you wanted, but at this stage, they're looking at extending the game. They didn't want Foster to be a one-man fast break.
Interesting decision that time to get the foul early to force Creighton to get to the free throw line now. In some aspects, what you talked about, Tim, it stretches out the game.
Yeah, and Pascal, here's the reason why it's a problem. He has Nova score points in the overtime.
Oh, but he also is good, as we saw, at offensive rebounds or keeping that possession alive. Now you don't have that.
And Foster at the strike. .81% on the year in conference play. Thomasson Alexander's going to check in for the big fella.
Well, yeah, Villanova is small. So as much of an advantage that Epperson had on the offensive end, he was more of a liability on the defensive end. And Coach McDermott had to make that adjustment in order to be able to switch everything defensively. 1 of 2 for Foster. The lead is 5 with 1:20 and counting in the OT. And that foul may have paid off in regards of not giving up 2.
Brunson, oh, was that easy?
Way too easy. Not a lot of time off the shot clock. Off the game clock.
Lead down to 3. Thomas sneaks out. He's fouled. The play on the ball was made by Booth there. At first, I thought, could this be intentional? I think he made the play on the ball. Oh, it's close.
It's close. And the officials are going to look at it right now.
They are. My first inclination was that he is at least making a play on the ball, stretching out as much as he could, but he certainly didn't get there.
Well, no, the right hand underneath was going for the ball, but the left hand over the top was trying to grab. See, that right hand in there is there, but that is the one that they're going to look at right here on that arm. Yeah. I don't think they'll give him the intentional.
Clearly Mac wants it. McDermott all over it. It's important because it would be shots and the ball if it's intentional.
Yeah.
Well, considered flagrant. No such thing as intentional anymore. It would be F1. We're going to have a discussion about this one.
Because it's all about a play on the ball.
Yeah. And I really did think his intent was to make a play on the ball.
But if you watch closely, you'll know the layup is going to happen, okay? Yeah. What he's trying to do is prevent that, thinking that he's going to shoot with his left hand and try to grab that hand. But Kyrie smartly switched it over to his right.
Lamar Simpson is coming over to tell us, and it will be an F1.
They got it.
Yep. Huge break here. But I think after looking at it and having the conversation, well, the question of intent is one thing, but they've got to look at that and see what happened. Jay's reaction is as you'd expect.
I think the switch to the left to right hand got it. You see what I'm saying, Tim?
Well, these are massive opportunities for Kyrie Thomas. That's a tired free throw.
Yeah, but
he's played 43 minutes. He's played the whole second half in overtime.
Well, you're making it get the ball back. So
if this game goes to Creighton and Xavier wins out, they could claim the outright title.
Yeah, a lot of implications.
Oh, yeah, the ratings in Cincinnati are going to be awful good.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Implications on this is tremendous.
Mintz got away. Nice pass to Ballack. 60 seconds left in the OT. The lead is 6.
And they started the game clock before Brunson was able to even touch the ball.
Yeah, they got to repair that. Clock operator got a little excited.
Well, he did. And Jalen Brunson immediately pointed to the officials that the clock had started running once it came in right here. And watch Jalen Brunson.
By the way, how about this for Ballack, the freshman from Kansas? 13 points, 6 boards, 8 assists in a game he had to start because of the loss of Ronnie Harrell. Young man has really stepped up. There's Ronnie. We've got the postseason tournament coming up. You'll be on hand for it, I know, and looking forward to it. There are always times in a regular season game when you point back and say, okay, it all kind of came together this particular day. This might be that moment for Creighton. Here are the remaining schedules for both Villanova and Xavier side by side. And this loss, if it does hold up, if this lead holds up, could allow the Musketeers for an outright Big East regular season championship, provided they win out, and they play Providence at home at the Ncaa Center on Wednesday, and then on the road at Wintrust in Chicago against DePaul Saturday.
Now, what I'm interested in to see if they're going to allow Villanova to take the ball back out on the baseline with 1 minute and 2 on the clock, or they're giving it to them at half court with 58 seconds. I don't understand that one there because Jalen Brunson didn't touch the ball.
And I think Jay is asking that question right now.
That's what I don't understand.
How did we lose 4 seconds?
Exactly. I don't. Without him picking up the ball.
Yeah. What? And I think Bridges may have gotten in too.
I have to get an explanation of why you don't take it back on the baseline.
I'm right there with you. I've never seen this. Bridges had come in and he can't.
Right.
That's what James Breeding was taking care of. So Spellman's back on the floor.
Well, you know you gotta.
They need something quick, and Brunson's looking for just that. Oh. Foster the rebound. Quick outlet to Davion Mintz. Foster's fouled by Gillespie. Under normal circumstances, you'd say, gosh, you don't want Foster necessarily to be the guy fouled, but his last few free throws have struggled to get to the rim.
Yeah, but if you're Coach McDermott, you still want
your best
at the free throw line.
He is your best. You do. Let's see if it works out.
There we go.
A reminder, the world premiere of Shot in the Dark, something near and dear to my partner today, Jim Jackson, is coming up next as soon as we're done here. It's now a 9-2 Creighton run, their largest lead of the day. Well, he stepped up right there and nailed both of them. 40 seconds left. Number 3 Villanova in danger of losing at Creighton today. DiVincenzo. Pulled down by Foster, and he'll wait for the foul. We're going to give Creighton this victory, okay? We're going to punch him in. That'll move them to 9. And that puts Xavier in the driver's seat. Chris Mack's team, even with their 2 losses to Villanova, barring some miracle here in the last 30 seconds, we're going to say that Xavier will control its destiny after today's game.
And how big is that at the game? Providence at Xavier on Wednesday.
I'll be there with you.
That's right. And you'll be there.
On FS1. And then on Saturday at DePaul, provided they win there against DePaul, Xavier could be playing for the outright regular season title. Booth. Bridges. Count it. That's a 3. A quick timeout. 16.4 left. It's still a 2-possession game. Well, this should tell you something about the depth of power in the Big East Conference. I know there are fewer teams in it. As a result, every W you get is one to covet.
Well, and it also proves, too, playing on the road, how difficult the challenge is. Even for the #3 team in the country, we talked about 2 of their 3 losses on the road. If it finishes out now, there's 3 of the 4 have been on the road. So I think the ability for teams to lock in and focus. Now, Creighton has had their struggles, but yet you know they're still a very good team.
I got to tell you, in all honesty, when I heard Ronnie Harrell could not go today, I thought it was curtains from a matchup standpoint. I really did.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you still got to play the game. And the game plan on how to combat Villanova was picture perfect for McDermott.
Fouled by DiVincenzo. They're making sure he's got the ball.
You know, and I'll say this too. I was very interested to see on the back end of the second game how Phil Booth would play. Because this is a tough second game to come back in, okay? Because of the pace of play that Creighton wants to imply. So Booth didn't have the same impact he had. You know, 5 points, 2 for 9. He had some open shots. He had a couple of turnovers in there, but it's always interesting to see, coming off an injury, from a fatigue perspective and how do your body feel, can you do it? And this was a tough second game on the road to come back in.
These fans, 18,000 and strong yet again. They have been starving for this kind of W. It is a signature win, no doubt about that. A wonderful basketball city, Omaha. And right now, it is a Creighton coronation that's in play as a quick possession arrow goes to Villanova after the tie-up. But only 2.5 left. And look at the head coach. He's grinning from ear to ear.
It'd be a good time to ask Greg to take us out to eat. He'll pick up the bill.
I've got friends here I'm already taking care of.
Of course you do, Timmy B.
I've got them in Philadelphia, too.
Okay, well, I'm going to be selfish.
They waited for a long time after that Xavier loss on a controversial play, but today it doesn't come down to that. The Creighton Blue Jays get that much-needed signature win in overtime, 89-83. That's our final. We'll send you to the premiere of Shot in the Dark right after this. You've been watching Big East Basketball on Fox. So long from Omaha.